Why did one single Saturday when you were 10 years old sound like an eternity? Sounds like it would remain with you forever, the whole day, so many things you could do. And now, a single year, it goes like that, so fast. Yesterday was January, now we are entering December, and then suddenly the year is over. That is crazy, isn't it? Imagine if you had a bank account with $4,000. There's one thing here. You cannot deposit any more money to this account. This is all you get, okay? How would you spend this money knowing that? Would you be careful? Well, if you live your whole life until around 80 years, that's all you get. 4,000 weeks. Hello, welcome again, William Meller here, and today I would like to bring a quick reflection with you about how you are spending your time. Time isn't something stored for later. You have it available, you use it or not, and it will still be the same. You have the same amount of minutes, hours in your day. You have the same amount of days in your weeks, and that's how life works to everyone, right? You have the same time available to you every single day, and you can organize how you are going to spend that with your family, going to the work, doing your responsibilities, going to the gym, doing some kind of workout. It doesn't matter what you do. The time you have available is the same. The reflection I did at the beginning of the video was to bring you to another moment of your life. I don't know how old are you, but I'm sure that when you were a kid, the time that you were spending appeared to go so differently. You start your day, maybe you go to the school in the morning, and you have so many different things you do there. You learn different things, you connect with your friends, you have your playing time, you do so many different things in that whole morning. And then you go home, you have lunch with your family, and after lunch, maybe a quick nap. You wake up, you watch some cartoon, you play some video game, and then you go out. You play some football with your friends, you do some other activities, and then you go home again to eat something. There's still sun outside, if you don't live in Sweden. There's still some sun outside, so you go out again with your friends, and you play again, and you do a lot of things. You go home, you have a shower, and then you go have some dinner with your family. And then after dinner, there is still some time. You watch something together, and then finally go to bed. But it's still not to sleep. You still want to read a book or play something, I don't know. But so many time available, right? But then, later in life, responsibilities knock in the door. And then suddenly, you wake up super early, you go to your job, you do all your activities, all your responsibilities, and then you go home, you're over. You have some energy to eat something, you do something with your family, but that's all you can because your energy is so drained, right? That's exactly the reflection I would like to bring for the different moments of life, because in one moment we have the free time available and we can do so many different things because we have a different kind of energy. But then later in life, responsibilities, but it's still the same amount of time in the day, or reflection or perception of time is so different because we fulfill our time with all those responsibilities. And we don't have any boredom anymore. We don't have any free time to just think. We don't have any space in our days to organize or reorganize our energy. Then the only moment we can really go and have some kind of recharge is when you go to sleep. But then you go to sleep with your smartphone in your hands, and then your energy is still being drained just before going to sleep, and your sleep is not that good one. You don't get, rested when you wake up, and then you go again in this cycle. It doesn't sound good, but this is reality. That's what life could offer to you right now. I'm not here to offer you a silver bullet or something that you change tomorrow and then suddenly your time is going to be the same as you were as a kid and your energy is back. No, but I'm here to offer you at least one different perspective that I'm trying to adapt to my life in all the different areas of my life. Personal life with my family, for my work, for my studies, and also for my content creation. This is what I'm doing right now with you. What I try to do is that every single day knowing that my energy will be different. Maybe the energy I have on Monday is completely different that I have on Friday, which is different from the energy that I have on Sunday in the end of the day. So the energies that I have available are different. But I know that I have a list of things that I must accomplish over a week, and some of them that I can do, that are not, I can do that in different times. So I try to manage my priorities based on my energy. If I wake up super early in the morning before going to work and I have energy to record you a video sharing a little bit on some perspective or write a content for my different newsletters, I will do that. Something that I will always do, because that's something I've been doing for the past, I think, 15 years, so it's a habit, is that I always start my day reading something, preferably reading some pages of a book. So I will check a very important thing to me very early in the day, reading a book, reading some pages, so progressing on my reading and getting some knowledge to start the day. That's something that I do because it's a habit in the beginning of the morning. But back to what I'm saying on the energy management, when I'm going to write, when I'm going to record, when I'm going to study, or I'm going to get some rest, it will depend on my energy. But the radical change that I did this year, and that is changing completely how I go over each activity, is the concept of one thing at a time. I can only do with my full attention and my full energy one single thing. If I'm watching a movie, I'm just watching the movie. If I'm writing, I am just writing. I realized that multitasking was not being a good thing for my health. So if I try to write a text while I'm listening to a podcast and working on some video idea on the side that is similar to the text I was going to write, I'm not going to do any of those things in a good way. So I need to organize myself to do only one thing. And this is really hard. When you try to do one single thing, your brain wants something else. And unfortunately, because of social media, we now are in this dopamine addiction. So your brain wants to leave the boring activity to do something funnier. So the brain is constantly asking you, please take your phone, give me a video. So you need to train, and that will be hard in the beginning. Train yourself to leave any distraction to the side. If possible, leave your phone in another room when you are doing some kind of activity that you need to focus on. If you are at work in a meeting, be in the meeting. If you are taking notes, take notes from the meeting, but don't reply something on the side, because multitasking, it's really becoming a harm to our brains. And I discovered that I'm testing a lot. I promise that I'll come back with another video as soon as I discover more on this energy management connected to this one thing philosophy. But I can assure to you that if you try that for at least 30 days, you are going to see a huge difference on how you are going to feel in the end of the day. Try that. If it doesn't work for you, you are free to come to the comments and say anything against my ideas. It's totally fine. But I can assure to you, this is working really well to me. I'm creating a lot of good content. Some of them better, but I know that I'm doing my best to bring good knowledge for you, good ideas for you when it comes to personal development and professional development. And why I'm doing that in a good and consistent way? Well, it's because I'm managing my energy better and I'm focusing on one single thing when I can focus on that. The sun is still the same as it was when you were a kid. The wind is the same. The time available each day is the same. But our energy is different for sure. And who we are, even though we are still the same person, we change over time. So don't put the pressure on yourself that every single day must be perfect. But try to at least be better than the last one. If it was not possible, you have another day and then another day to try again. But my message here is not on the motivation sense. It's more on the practical idea that you should try something different if the way you are working today or going through your days is not working. If that is not working to you, try something else. Try what I suggested today. But be sure that there are always a better way to go through your weeks, and ensure that your 4,000 available weeks are spent in the best way possible.